Hi everyone. Good morning or good afternoon now, and I'm very excited from from the time we had the last batch and where I visited and then the students had visited us as well. It was a great experience and it has definitely a great place in our heart, uh, where we have seen how amazing this batch. Once again. Now I'm on my laptop finally.
Finally, yes, it's fine now.
I was saying
Yes.
that it's been always a pleasure to connect with Smita and team, and this segment of luxury really excites me because that's what I would say. There was a big void in India to have formal education on this. So I really like the whole segment here. Something about myself. I'm born and brought up in Pune. Got married in 2005. A proud father of two beautiful kids, Adhiraj and Ashita. I've completed my MBA in 2004, but I've been involved in the business since right after my 10th standard. So my education was pretty much on ground, and that's what I really insist on. That we have two types of education: one on the books, one on the ground. And luckily, you guys, all of you have the on ground experience when you do your internships, and that is what we really learn from. Right from beginning, we've been very passionate about cars, bikes, and luxury has a special place in my heart. It's definitely different to deal with luxury and how not to deal with luxury. We have as a group we deal in all spheres of automobiles, right from Honda two-wheelers, which is the bottom of the automobile, to the BMWs of the world, having in between Mini Cooper, which is the super passionate purchase for any buyer, and also a mid-segment in adventure a bit with Isuzu. So, and comes BMW bikes. We, as a group, we also have real estate company, which we call it Gagan Properties. And in that as well, we have mass housing to very high-end commercial. So we deal in pretty much from mass to very high-end luxury, and it's a very different behavior for every kind of customer. So same customer, you might have buying Honda two-wheeler and a BMW, and they behave very differently. The acceptable level, the expectation, it's totally different when you deal with these brands. And definitely the same customer will be surprised when I say behaves totally different when he buys a BMW car and buys a BMW bike, or buys a BMW car or a Mini. The same customer. You can't imagine he's the same customer. He comes to take the delivery dressed up differently. On a BMW, he'll be a bit more formal, and a Mini, he'll be more casual. He'll walk in with the shorts as well. A bit with about BMW India, while the group is over 100 years old, we launched in India in 2006. And it's the 15th year running. It has headquarters in Gurgaon, Haryana, and there's a assembly plant, a manufacturing plant in Chennai. It sells all across the model range pretty much. Most of them available in India, what they sell in Germany or otherwise. They also, the flavor of the season is electric. We are also looking to launch electric cars by next year start. So then performance cars, of course, the most favorite cars of the customers. right? From the M cars, from whether it's M3s, M4s, M5s. We also had a great COVID impact because luxury will be hit first because it's not considered as your basic needs. So we did have a big COVID impact, right from shutting down of the plants to dealerships to standstill, no production. So yeah, COVID also impacted us largely. So this is pretty much, and I've kept larger space for the Q&A, and that's how I really like the whole session to be. So yeah, so please go ahead from any questions you may have, and be happy to answer them. Sweta?
Yes, yes. Yes, Vishal. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
I can't hear you. Sorry.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Now I can.
Yeah. Was my voice clear during this?
Yes, it was. Yes, it was.
Okay. So I'm happy to take any Q&A.
Okay. Sure.
Done.
Okay. So guys, do you all have anything in particular that you would like to know just in general about how things work, at BMW and what happens over there? What are the different processes that are followed? Anything that you would like to know that comes to your mind? Because see, we want to keep this session pretty interactive. So it'll be nice if you come up with questions, and no question is a stupid question, or no question is a dumb question. So I think it'll be nice also if you guys have particular questions. It could be anything. It could be related to the brand, it could be related to the employees, it could be related to the management, it could be related to if you want to know how to get a job, anything. Just or what skills are required, or what does a brand look for in people. So anybody has a question, please? Okay, I can see two students. So Charu, we'll start with you, and then Shalini. Yes, Charu.
Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon, Vishal, sir.
Hi, Charu.
So I have a question that at what stage in your life you actually thought that, no, I have to move to luxury, and what really excited you at that point in time? Because as you said, that luxury market works completely different to what other brands are, there in the market. There could be anything, but in what point in your life you decided that I need to move to luxury? That is what my passion relies in.
Thank you. So the luxury was my day one aspiration. See, in the automobile sector which I deal in, and the upper benchmark is luxury. So it was no option that we wouldn't step into luxury. So it was clear from day one, if the opportunities come, we will first jump to luxury, and we did that. Actually, it's only in 2006, 2007 when luxury market started getting established in India. That's when the brands came to India, and there were we first to jump in and grab the opportunity.
Thank you.
Yes, I think Shalini, you can go next.
Yeah, good afternoon, all of you. Hello, sir.
Hi.
So basically, I have two questions for you. So the first one is, I just went through your profile. So you had pursued MBA in Indira School of Management in Pune. So the thing is, I want to know in what field did you pursue MBA in, any specialization? And the second question is, I am basically interested in customer satisfaction and team management. I want to make it as my forte, like the way it is yours. So what skills are we supposed to imbibe to get into that sector?
Thank you. My first question, I did my MBA in marketing. So I would like to be honest also, I would hardly attend because at that moment I was fully working, like I was working 12, 14 hours a day. So, it was hardly I would attend. I would not recommend my path though. But yeah, it was the marketing was my choice of education, and rightly so relates to my business. Your second question was, I really like that you want to make customer satisfaction as your forte, because that's the only way to deal in any product. There's no other way. And the key to that is to face the customer. There are two types of people we face in our organizations as well. It could be anyone. It doesn't need to be employee. It could be owner. Who, whenever you run away and not face a customer, that's when you totally lose your customer. The most important key is customer expects you to speak to them, be in touch, be face it. I've seen customers cooling down when in any issue, almost 70% as soon as you face them. They want to be heard. And that, and saying honestly, suppose I don't think anyone in the world has all answers. But if you say, thank you for your for query and give me 1 day or 4 hours or 2 hours, I'm going to report to you. As soon as you say that, the customers understand that you're not going to bluff, you're honest, and you're going to come back, and make sure you come back before the time you gave.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks, Shalini. You can put your hand down. Aftab, you go next.
Good afternoon, sir. I wanted to ask, why did you choose BMW over other luxury cars?
It's very passionate for me to have a BMW as a brand. If I see behind, I don't think I would have chosen any other brand. And I'm not against any brand, but it's just I loved BMW so much more that I think what you seek is what you get. I went for it, the sheer
Thank you,
love of the brand.
Okay, thanks, Aftab. Pratyaksha, you can go ahead.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you. How are you, sir?
Hi, very well. How are you?
So, sir, I wanted to ask you that in every sort of business, we have some easy customers and then there are some difficult customers. So, like in this luxury industry, in BMW, like how do you deal with the difficult customers that you get, and what sort of customers? What are their expectations?
I feel customers are justified because they are the one who challenges us. They are the ones who make us give them better service. They are the one who pushes us to our limits or beyond. So I feel the customer is justified because I have one motto: who pays your bills? While tomorrow any of you will get a job and you think the company is paying my salary, but no, the company runs because the customer pays them. And if the customer pays them, that they are the one who's paying our bills. So that is why customers are at most important to us. There are different types of customers some are very, very, very impractical or beyond practical needs. They might ask something which we can't do. There also how we handle them is most important than what they're. We can have one way saying they're impractical and nothing can happen. And I've seen we converting the impractical customer to a practical need and settling him down. Could be 1 odd out of 1,000 who just can't be settled. They might go legal, they might go anything. But again, the way we handle them is how we will win.
Okay, sir. Thank you. I had another question. Can I carry on?
Yeah, please.
Yeah. So how do you train your team, and how do you train yourself to deal with the consumers of luxury industry?
So there is, we get a lot of training from the brand itself. The brand plays a much larger role in teaching what a luxury is. They have a very, very intensive training centers and programs. So that I would credit them a lot, because every brand has a behavior. Every brand has a way of dealing. Like for example, if you choose or if you meet a colleague of yours who's in a different institution of college, they would behave differently than how your classmates would behave, and that's the culture of an organization. So that is definitely, and how I have learned is also through the brand and daily keeping your feet on the ground and learning, keeping yourself updated, keeping pushing yourselves, getting yourself updated, coaching yourself, getting yourself enrolled for courses. So there are many ways we have to keep ourselves up to date.
Okay, sir. Thank you so much.
Okay. Thank you, Pratyaksha. Great questions. Rahul, you can go next.
Yeah, first of all, very good afternoon to you, Vishal sir. Basically, I'm very interested in automobile sector, and I really want to land a job in the top companies like Rolls-Royce or Ferrari. So if you're already in the field, right? So if you're a recruiter, what do you see in the aspirant? What do you first see, and what skills do you, require to be eligible or, to pass the interview? So what do you look in an aspirant?
I definitely look in the aspirant. I hire for attitude and passion. Rest can be developed. Personally, I hire for that. If the candidate is showing the signs of laziness or non-positive attitude, and he's negative and he's already giving up, to me he's a non-starter. If Rahul, there's a passion, and if you have eagerness to learn, and if you have great aspiration, I would pick a candidate over a non-MBA versus an MBA. Also, I would pick up.
And what about if we are talking about skills?
Skills. See, there is a basic skills which someone definitely needs is how you dress up, how you upkeep yourself, what's your basic knowledge, how you're learning, are you concentrating or not, how well are you to speak to, how well are you to present to, are you using bad slangs, or they definitely come up within an interview.
Thank you so much, sir. It helped a lot.
Yeah.
Okay, thanks, Rahul. I think, if I'm not wrong, Trishala was next. Trishala has put a hand down. Mansi? No, Trishala's there. Trishala, do you want to go next?
Yeah. Good afternoon, sir. So my question is how things changed post-COVID in the automobile sector, and what sort of problems company faced, and what measures were taken to come out of that stage?
So the largest push which happened in auto post-COVID is the digitalization. So in digitalization, where the industry was taking a lazy route, if I can say so, they accelerated themselves. And I still have examples of people who have not gone fully digital. And our digital is not, oh, I'm on Facebook, I'm on Instagram, I'm digital. That is not digital, that's basics, that's hygiene. So I'm having yourself on Google, having yourself on Instagram, Facebook. I think people think that's it. while they are the best source of leads, but getting virtual showrooms ready, getting your website updated, getting bookings, getting payment gateways, all of that was pushed in this lockdown. Auto was also very face-to-face background and front end also. So a lot of customers started asking for pictures more, a video call, a virtual link. So that came up very, very interestingly. So a lot of my sales consultants, I've started doing FaceTiming or WhatsApp video calls to the customer walking around. A lot of videos have sprung up, reels have sprung up. So that definitely changed in auto. Online ordering, which was not existing, So that was a major change, positively.
Thank you, sir.
Okay.
Hi, sir. I hope.
Yes, Mansi, you can go next.
Hi, sir. I hope you're doing good.
I am.
Yeah. I just want to ask, everyone face failure in their life while building their empire. So
Mansi, your voice is cracking up a little bit. Do you want to maybe, can you try speaking again?
Yeah, sure, ma'am.
Yeah, it's better now. You can go ahead.
Yeah. I just want to ask, everyone face failure in their life while building their empire. So any one incident you want to say, just want to share that changed your life?
So you mean stepping stones, right?
Yeah.
So we face failures or stepping stones every single week or day. It never ends, Mansi. It never ends. No one was prepared for COVID. You see, we are in a retail business. For us, when you shut our shops, when you shut our service centers, my money stops coming. I don't know how to pay bills. I don't know how to pay salaries or EMIs. The stock was mounting, the interest was mounting. It felt end of life. So while the team can give up, while the sales consultants can give up, while everyone on the team can give up, you as a owner of the business, everyone's looking at you. So you have to keep your calm. You have to not panic. You have to not show that you're gone, and you have to put up a brave face and come back and fight it out. So there are many such incidents. When we started our business, the luxury industry was nothing. I remember selling 2 cars a month and 3 cars a month, and there used to be stock and there would be no customers. Customers used to say, it's expensive. No, I don't want to buy. Where will I drive? And. So every day, is a challenge when you are in a business. At a salary level, people have expectations. Why my salary is not coming? Company should do this, company should do that. Why don't I get increment? Why don't I get promotions? Expectations of an employee is skyrocket. And but unless and until you start looking what an entrepreneur goes through, it's not even funny how things turn around. And also, it's not wrong when the phrases and the books say it's lonely at the top. It is definitely lonely because you don't know whom to go to. If my manager has something, he goes to his head, or he comes to me, I have this issue, and then he walks out. But what does the owner do? So definitely it's quite challenging every single step. I hope
Thank you, sir. Yeah. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Mansi. Anybody else? Any questions? Yes, Hetwi.
You're on mute, huh?
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
Sir, I wanted to ask that what strategies did you use to, come up with these problems during COVID or post-COVID? And how market, like in automotive sector, came up with the problem?
If I understood you right, you said what was the strategy used during COVID, right?
Yeah.
Luckily, I had a very high digital focus in the team, and we were building ourselves for the digital. We've been working. I foresee that as being a very, very strong sector. So digital definitely worked for us, and we didn't have to start from scratch. And we only had to push up. So and our focus became very, very highly digital. Like, I've not released a paper ad since a year and a half now. And earlier we used to waste a lot of money in print media. And so that was one strategy. Second, the positive part about this low side of COVID was we became a lot more efficient. We didn't need meetings physically. We could connect to Zoom like we are. Otherwise, last meeting I had to travel all the way 4 hours for a 1 hour lecture, and then travel back 4 hours. It was like a 10-hour journey for a 1 hour speaking to you guys. That today is not needed. So this stopped wasting a lot of time, and we could connect virtually a lot more better. And people are happy to do this, which a lot of team members never knew how to use a video app, and they started learning that. So strategies became to be lean, to be efficient, to save cost, to have a very high focus on KPIs, and come out with very, very efficient systems. So that really helped us.
And so, how did customer accepted the change, like in the market?
When there were 2.5 months, people were sitting home, all they were doing was consuming digital space. What were they doing? They had no place to go, but they were on their gadgets. So sitting home, they were just Googling things. We were pushing our products online to them, and they were searching us. They were taking calls. Yeah. So customer, like in everyone's business, everyone was forced to go to video. Even the customers have business to run, right? So they went to Zoom, or they went to WhatsApp audio or video or FaceTime. So they were getting adapted too. Even we have so many examples of grandparents at our houses, and they have started doing video calls. They were never even savvy to have a phone, but now they are on FaceTimes, of Facebooks, and so many people at their various ages have now social media accounts. So the customer was getting ready on their own.
Thank you, sir.
I'm sorry to interrupt, but I'm really glad that, Hetvi, you asked this question, and Vishal, that you touched upon the whole adaptation aspect, because even as students and people who want to foresee a career in the luxury sector, it's very, very important to adapt to the whole digital, the way we are communicating. We're using different platforms and apps to communicate. That's, I think, very, very important. And thanks, Vishal, for sharing that. Yes, I think
I would say, Smita, the largest change, if you see, is in education industry.
Yes, absolutely.
My 7-year-old daughter, whom I had restriction on gadgets, is now learning school from 1.5 years.
Yeah.
On a computer, having 4-5 hours there is the largest change. Did you ever think we're going to have digital classes?
No, absolutely not. And even, we also have been seeing a lot of, changes when, companies are also approaching us to recruit students. They want to first meet the student on Zoom to see if the student is well versed with using Zoom or not, So that is absolutely 100% correct what you said, that, these basic fundamentals and learning these basic things are so now it seems like basic now, but I think a year back it was like, oh my God, I need to, shift my life on Zoom. It was a big thing. For us also to get used to it, even in the education industry, to keep that interaction going with students, it was very difficult. But the sooner we adapt, I think nobody wants to be a dinosaur. I think, everybody needs to adapt and move on. So that's very, very important. Okay, so I think, if I'm not wrong, Runali was next. Yes, Runali.
Okay. Good afternoon, sir. I wanted to ask regarding the kind of future of luxury cars. So basically, most of the automobiles and different companies are getting into electric cars and they're launching everything. So I guess it is kind of changing. The sector is kind of changing everything. So do you think the electric cars are going to be the future of automobile, or it's just another part of the industry?
I have a different thing. See, it's been over 100 years. There was no change in the type of engine the car has. See, there is going to be automobile. There is going to be a luxury or a non-luxury vehicle. We've only changed the engine, and suddenly this, because it was not there earlier, and Tesla led the way. You see the valuations of the companies have gone to the roof, like it's the most valuable auto company in the world. And that definitely got the flavor. But Runali, also understand the media sells more cars than the physical sales. Like if you have to believe digital and print media, the sales are 100 times more than the physical car inquiry. So I feel diesel will go sooner or later. But there are still, there are more another 20 years for diesel life. Petrol engines will be there. Hybrids will be there. Electric, the industry experts estimate will be 30% of the car sales will be electric. It's not still like the 100% easy solution, but electric is definitely coming. Every luxury car manufacturer has made themselves ready for electric. Are they selling enough? But they are selling electrified vehicles. Everyone. BMW does it for last 12 years. They launched i3, i8 12 years ago. But they also selling more hybrid or other types. But there is the Chinese dominance on electric technology or batteries is a threat to the world. So they are also going to push hydrogen cell fuels. So there is what either you Google up or if you must have read, hydrogen is what larger companies are going to support, and especially the Japanese, the Chinese, the US companies, they are going to not support EVs to a large extent. They have to serve the customer with the EV, but they will switch them to a non-EV very, very soon. It's my personal take. I could be wrong.
Okay. I guess, that's it. Thank you.
Yes. Runali, are you done?
Yes, ma'am.
You can put your hand down. I think Janvi was next. So then Janvi and then Charu. Yes,
Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon, sir. So I just wanted to know, like you said, that you shifted towards a more digitalized strategy during the COVID times. I wanted to know, do you think digital is a long-term solution now? Because for the longest time, luxury brands have been very resilient towards actually moving to the digital side. So I wanted to know your take on it.
Geo brought us all data at free, right? I mean, it's almost free. So worldwide, wherever you go, Geo has a mark to push data. Earlier, data was expensive. Now, while that was not only enough, COVID pushed digital to another level. Now, nothing can stop digital. The largest threat industry is print media. I don't think digital can be challenged ever. whatever you do, you will need a gadget, and that is going to be called digital. Even if you read a news on mobile today, it's called digital, right? So we are speaking on a digital platform. So the word is digital. And some companies also call it phygital, where you meet and then go online. So a lot of companies have a showrooms which are more digital focused. You go there, you experience a 3D. What if there is not a car there? You go to a small space and you wear a VR gadget, and then you touch and feel the car through a VR. So they are also there are steps to go phygital. And so, yeah, digital will never ever go back.
Thank you.
Thanks, Janvi. Yes, Charu.
Hello, sir, again. So, sir, my question is similar to what Runali asked about the EV industry. So, what I am doing a research on ESG, especially in the EV sector. So now, as you have already said, that BMW, first launched the, electric vehicle in 2013 i3 model. At that point in time, it was a complete nascent sector, the electronic cars and everything. It was a new approach. But now every company, every luxurious company is shifting towards it. So I want to know what was the vision that BMW had back then in 2013 and how it had modified, coming in 2019 to 2020. Because now we have so many competitors like Lucid Motors and Tesla. So how that vision of a company evolved during a span of this time?
So, Charu, what so what also indicates the future is the R&D investment. What you and I are going to consume in 4 or 5 years later is what is getting made in the R&D centers now. So there was a study, a fact came out that 80% of today's R&D costs are diverted towards EV, which earlier used to be making a better engine, a better technology or whatever. But 80% of largest companies are using the R&D budget towards EV. And everyone had to be ready not to be thrown out of the market. So there are companies where there is no EV, present. There is definitely they are now they're definitely caught off guard. So that is why they had to be ready, and that is why 10, 11 years ago BMW launched i3, just only to be ready in that space to say to that I'm also there alive, don't forget me. And their growth on electrified vehicles, not fully EV, electrified is hybrid plus electric, was over 50% year on year, as far as BMW is concerned. Now, a brand Mini Cooper has committed that from 2030, every single car Mini will sell will be electric. So these are the declarations what companies are doing to be present and to tell the shareholders and the market that we are also there in the space. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yes, Charu. Thank you so much. Joshika, you can go ahead.
Hi, good afternoon, sir. How are you?
Hi, very well, Joshika.
So my question here is that as we know, when the pandemic hit us in the initial time, so many stores were there that got shut down and or went bankrupt, even in the developed countries, right? So how did BMW cope with it, or how did BMW in India suffer because of it, as India is still a developing country?
So thank you. First, the understanding that the BMW in India or the India is still a developing country for luxury is very important, Joshika. So that's first step done. So while these companies are extremely highly funded, being a very, very large world organization, So they have a lot of contingency budgets, and they definitely have taken a huge loss and huge haircuts. But luckily for them, it happened not only for India, it happened for the world. So the worldwide, what do you say, acceptance that the companies are going to post loss or they would need additional funding or they cannot match up. That was accepted by the shareholders and the markets, right? So that definitely helped because it was not an India problem, it was a world problem. So that definitely helped. How they manage is through their robust reserves, which every company carries. So definitely, I think the larger issue was not for the very, very large companies. The larger issue was for a single entity, single companies, single like dealers like us. We do not have a godfather sitting up in Germany who's saying, okay, you're a loss, take 100 million euros and go ahead. We entrepreneurs don't have anyone else to, the bankers don't want us. There's no other place to go. So the largest bankers, business which went down are the single owners. And barely someone went down who was a very large corporation. If they went down, they had much more to do than the COVID.
Yeah.
I hope I answered it.
Yeah. So adding on to this, so you said that all these companies, they have some specific funds, right? So were these funds enough to cater the needs of the like BMW's own employees? Like, did it put an impact on the income of the employees?
See, we all know that manpower, everyone. What is employment? Employment's basic thing is that you get a remuneration out of companies' well-doing or profits. So till the time company can only pay the entire team if they have money to pay, else they go down under, right? So they definitely have no what do you say, no way to pay if there is no income coming. Maybe large corporations like BMW cut on a different way than the basic salaries. They would have cut on perks, they would have cut on additional incentives, bonuses, but they did pay the basic salaries as far as I know. See, these things are very secret to their own company and the employees, but they did not touch. But they would have definitely not. How do you pay bonuses and perks, right? So they would have definitely cut down there.
Yeah, 100%.
Sir, actually, I wanted to add on to that. Did they, let go of employees? Like so many people are unemployed because of the pandemic right now. And did it happen the same way in the luxury sector as well?
The luxury sector, Rahul, was the highest impacted sector because I said in my opening as well that this is not a basic necessity.
Yes.
The basic necessity is to live and be alive, right? In COVID showed us that the luxury is not basic necessity. So I don't think anyone was unemployed or were asked to leave largely. But what organizations definitely did was they became leaner. They would have realized they might not need 5 people in a team. They might just do away with 2 because there is no travel required anymore. But I have not heard anyone losing job, so to say.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Okay. Thanks, Pratyaksha, for your patience. So you can go ahead now. You can ask your question.
Thank you, ma'am. So, sir, I wanted to ask you that, as you said, that the company has to invest in the R&D with this COVID thing going on, and also the electronic vehicles entering the market. So, how do you think the company manages the situation where they have to invest in R&D, they have to invest in the digital marketing efforts? So, how do they, cope up with that?
They have budgets. They have these companies work on extreme high budgets. Yeah. Why these companies test all weathers, or they are live in spite of world's largest impact for COVID. Why they still post profits or something like that? Because they are rock solid on their budgets. The budgets, you can't move them. They're amazing how really they manage their companies.
Okay. Sir, can you tell me what are the digital marketing efforts that were made by organizations like BMW?
They all got digital shops. So first was to get customer experience digital. So get a virtual showroom ready. So you can now book entire car online. You can choose a car. You can customize. You can see virtually. You can book a service online. You can pay full car online. You don't need you can buy a car without coming to the showroom, as long as you know what you want to buy.
Okay, sir. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Pratyaksha. So I think we have last 5 to 6 minutes left. If anybody has a question, then we can take one more question. Otherwise, unless, of course, if you don't have anything to ask, then we can conclude. I leave it to you. And nobody else has a question? Yes, Manan, you can go ahead. So Manan and Samprita, and then we won't take any more questions. Yes, Manan, go ahead.
Good afternoon, sir. Sir, I had a very your level type of question, as in related to only Bavaria Motors and not BMW as such. I wanted to know, like, you can choose not to answer this question, sir, but I had a doubt regarding the commissions which you. Am I audible?
Yeah.
So am I audible?
Manan, you are audible. You can go ahead and complete your question.
Okay. Yeah, ma'am. So I had a doubt regarding the profit percentages you have regarding, like, once you get a delivery from BMW till it goes off to the end customer. I know the percentages, as in, are there good percentages or it's slightly negligible, or?
What's your estimate? What's your estimate? I would say yes or no.
Sorry, sir?
What's your estimate? I would say yes or no.
15%?
No, they're way too high. Industry doesn't work in that high margins. It's a trade margin. It's a very, very minuscule margins on the products like these. Automobile doesn't have high margins, but luxury goods, what we buy, bags, shoes, etc., they have a very high margins. But automobile as such doesn't have high margins.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Okay, Manan. Yes, Samprita, you may go ahead. You're on mute, Samprita. Please unmute yourself.
I'm sorry. Yeah. Good afternoon, everyone.
Yeah.
Like you said, sir, during the COVID, the customer experience has been digitalized completely. So I believe that test drives are one of the important aspects of automobile industry. So do you think you had to, give up that during COVID? And if yes, how did you compensate that?
No, you can never compensate. So I would say that's the only savior for us to have a customer touch physically. That's my savior, because, there are segments I deal in. For example, we sell a Honda Activa or a Maruti Swift. Now in that, customers might not test drive. You would have seen your friend's Activa and you say, I need a black Activa. So that test drives is not so important, but a BMW, the touch and feel is the most important part of the purchase cycle. So yes, customer book the appointment on time, and the sales consultant would go with a PPE kit and sanitize in front of him the whole car, and then he would sit, and all of that uh, process was followed, and that's how the test drives did happen. Test drives you cannot. I think our highest focus is how many test drives we can give. Even today, the higher the test drives, more you're likely to fall in love with the product you choose.
Yeah, usually that gives the feel and touch of the product.
I mean, I don't know if BMW is doing this, but a lot of now a lot of brands are also doing home service, doorstep, like test drive. So they'll come with the car to your doorstep, and you can do the test drive around there. You don't have to go anywhere and be in a vicinity with a lot of people. You just get out of your house and get in the car, take a test drive, and they drop you back. So I think that's pretty comfortable. That's really, really comfortable.
That's been there for ages.
Yeah.
While we made sure, and even today, we make sure the customer visits the showroom.
Yeah.
Why not test drive? So we would send a car to pick up, and the sales will talk him out. Why? Oh, you want to see another color? Let's go to the showroom. Let's see, because that's where the brand experience comes. Not what if it's raining and your car gets dirty and you sit with a splash in. So the whole experience can get disturbed.
This home service, you're right. Vishal, it's been there for long, but I think people, especially I think Indians, we would prefer to go down to the showroom because you can see all the, different colors, different models. Like I myself, I know earlier I would prefer to go and see the car models, the colors, the features, and, just be talked up properly before I'm making a purchase, and maybe even do more than one trip to a showroom when I'm deciding. But recently I actually opted for the home, for them to come home, and I did a test drive. And because I was a little paranoid, I didn't want to go to the showroom because I knew it was a bit crowded, because it was it was a weekend. And I think it was fabulous. I won't name the brand, which brand I was this thing, but their service and the whole way they did it was really done superbly well. And once the test drive was done, I got a message from them, and of course, they have to do all of that. But I think it was not pushy, but it was also very well done, the whole process. So it was really good. I think it's a great way to keep that contact with your consumer. You're giving so much of personal service, and that's not only happening in cars, guys. It's also happening in jewelry. It's also happening in fashion. It's also happening any and every sector in luxury, particularly. It's happening everywhere. So yeah.
You're bang on, Smita. So what has changed? What one of you was asking was this change? The sales consultant didn't have so much focus. Now he always thought, oh, the customers anyways will walk up to the showroom. They were taken for granted in a way. Now they know that's their only field. They have to perform that test drive, and that's how they can get a client. So they stepped up. They had to pull their socks up on the outfield, and that has definitely what COVID also taught everyone, or the Indians definitely, is to be hygienic. We all would agree that that hygiene has really gone up. So that is good to see.